Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining me. Sorry, I had those glasses on there. I've been getting dizzy when I look at the computer. It's messing me up pretty bad. But anyway, we have an amazing show for you today, and I am telling you, ladies and gentlemen, these these podcasts are so divinely inspired and guided. It is truly amazing. I do not think about these podcasts during the week. What happens typically is something will happen during the week. Somebody will say something to me, or I'll come across something in reading, and then bam, I will get an idea and I'll say, okay, that's probably what I will communicate about in my next podcast. And then as time goes on throughout the week, something that subject will just continue to build. I'll continue to come across more things about it without me researching it, without me looking for different aspects or things like that. It'll just come up and it'll just continuously build throughout the week. And if I'm not meant to talk about that, I won't hear about it again for the rest of the week. There are some days when I don't even get a subject until the day of. And this podcast here is very similar to that because I didn't get this subject until yesterday. I was in the car and I started to get this download of different topics, and I can feel it right now. My heart is fluttering. I was getting a bunch of downloads of information or topics that I should discuss, and I forgot about this one, or didn't for what happened was I got it and then I didn't write it down, and then I was trying to think of what were all the topics that I got. And then I started to try to write them down. I forgot this one. A few minutes later, it came back to me. Okay, the light body. Ladies and gentlemen, this topic it so important, and one that I will tell you I didn't realize how important it was. When I channel for people, and this again, we are talking about the light body. When I channel for people, and when I say they, when divine beings start to discuss awakening and ascension, they always bring up the light body. Now, I'll tell you, when I hear the light body, I had no idea what the heck they were talking about. Why are they talking about the light body? What does it do? What does it mean? And I've been hearing it now for a few years, and I've looked it up in the past, and I could not figure out what the heck this thing was, why it's so important. I just couldn't understand. And all the information, they just kept telling me anytime I channeled, it's important. Activate it, light it up, fill it with light. They just kept drilling that into me. So I did. I did it, although I didn't know what the heck it was and why I was doing it. I did it. I followed their guidance. And then yesterday, everything changed and I figured it out. Obviously, not I figured it out. They showed me, they told me what is going on here. Now, I will tell you this with their help, I found two locations. There was a Gaia website, Gaia.com, I think it is, and Celestial. Let me just look it up real quick. Celestialwellspring.com. Celestialwellspring.com. Now, the interesting thing is, now when we talk about divine timing, man, this is it's so true, and that could not be more prevalent than here than any other moment that I can think of. I've seen this article before on the light body. I've read this exact same article a few years ago on the light body. And back then, when they were telling me to light it up and they were telling me to fill it with light, and I was trying to do it and I was trying to figure out what it was and I couldn't figure it out, I read this article multiple times and I could not, reading over everything that they were saying there, I could not figure this freaking thing out. And I was so confused, and then I just let it go. I was whatever. I'll figure it when when I'm meant to learn what it is, I will. And I did. I dropped it. I kept working with the light body, but I dropped it. And then last night, I got this topic. Hey, do the light body, And bam, I read this article again, and sure enough, it all worked. It all made sense to me. And now I know what this light body is and what it does. So, guys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, as we are ascending, now I have said many times that ascension is the aspect of tapping into your soul has connections from this third dimensional physical body all the way up to fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, all the way up to 12. Now, God has told me through a channeling session that that is correct. And as you begin to ascend, what you do is you tap in to all these different dimensional levels of your soul. So as you ascend, you go in the fourth, and then with these dimensional realms, you begin to inhabit or acquire the consciousness associated with that dimension. Now, we've already done the conscious levels associated with each dimension. We've already done that one. But on this one, we already know the conscious levels associated with each dimension. And as you ascend, you're going up you're tapping into your soul's aspect in that dimension. And when you are tapping into it, you are then acquiring that mindset, that conscious level, and that understanding and mentality associated with that conscious level. All right. Where the light body comes in, the light body is your elevator. And that is the simplest way that I can put it. The light body is your elevator. So you think about it. You step into the elevator, okay? Basically is your decision to, okay, I am going to begin this process of ascension. I am going to begin to understand that I am not just a physical body, that I am a soul having a physical experience, and now I am choosing to align my mind, body, and soul as one. All right, ascension. That is the start of this process. The light body is that elevator. So now you're making the choice to step into the elevator, and that is acknowledging that you are mind, body, soul, or the soul having a physical experiencing, and now you are choosing to align with all your different aspects of your soul. And then you hit the level. Okay, I'm going up. And by hitting the level, what you are doing is filling your physical body, your mind, body, soul up with light. And as you fill yourself up with light, you are beginning to hit the elevator button to go up. Now, the light body is different than your physical body. But you need to fill them both. The light body and the physical body. So you almost think of them as two different entities, because they kind of are. Your physical body is stepping into the elevator. So you're filling that elevator and your body with light. And as you go up, the more light that you fill your physical body, your mind, body, soul, and your light body with energy, with light, with love, you begin to allow more light and love into your physical body by tapping into these dimensional selves, these souls connections in each dimension. So let me see if I can explain that a little bit better. Okay, as you have connections to each dimension, okay, and you consciously make the decision to begin to ascend, to fill your mind, body, soul with light. As you do that, you are beginning to rise in vibration, because not only are you filling it, but you're starting to act in accordance with that light. So you're acting in a loving manner. You are helping people. You are being of service. These are all important aspects of ascension. Well, as you are going through this process, you fill your body, right? And as you go up, your light body is the medium at which you go up. So that is what is taking you up. And the more light that you put into this elevator, into this light body, the higher you can go. And the higher you can go, the elevator, the light body, is what allows more light to be acquired in your physical body. So you think of your physical body as having its own light. So if you can continue to think about this elevator analogy here that I'm using, you are in the elevator and you're filled with light, right? But in order for the elevator to go up, the light body to go up, you have to hit the number, right? Well, the number is bringing more light not only into yourself, but into that elevator. You get me here? You put more light not only into your body, but into the elevator, the light body. And as you fill not only your body, but this light body, this elevator with light, you can go higher. So it's almost like you have a secret key to ascension by filling this elevator, this light body with light. It actually takes you higher into dimensional aspects that are not necessarily open yet to your knowledge. Like this is a secret key that you need to go all the way up, is this light body, this elevator. And please forgive me, I hope you don't mind my analogy, but that is the analogy that I got last night in my, it's what they gave me. Use that analogy. I didn't read that analogy anywhere. They gave it to me. So as you guys are, so the light body is the elevator. That's the vessel that's going to take you up. Now, what is so important when you are going through this process is to understand that you cannot just fill your body with light and think that that is the only way to go. It is not. When you are ascending, you must begin to act in accordance with this new perspective. You must begin to be of love, to be of service, to release your judgments, to release the frustration, the anger, the hatred, all of that. It has to go away. Now, obviously, like everything, it takes time. So be patient with yourself. And I'm going to give you a for instance here. I am right now transitioning. Okay. You guys heard my last podcast with the issues that I'm having. Okay. Well, and you've also heard a couple other podcasts where, hey, I was engaging with people in a negative way through arguing what our government is doing right now with this whole pandemic thing. And I realized very quickly, this is not who I am. This is not what I want to do. This is not where I want to go. This is not what I want to engage in, because that's not embodying your divine self. Your divine self accepts people for who they are. It accepts the government for what they do, because you are light regardless. And you also understand that there is a reason for everything. There are no accidents. You are here to be the light, though. And when you engage in this negativity, this discourse with other people, you are not embodying your light body. You're not embodying your divine self. And you are causing discourse and confrontation out there, and you don't want to do that. You want to be the love. You want to be the light. You want to be the example of what other people can use as, hey, this is somebody that is forgiving, that understands that we are different in the sense of our mindsets and where we are in this process, but you are accepting of it. That's an important aspect to understand, and it's not one that you can just let go of. That is not the case. You have to now be patient with yourself, but you have to attempt to maintain these loving aspects of yourself as much as you can. Now, some of these topics I'm going to have to get into another time, because I want to stay on course here. But that's an important aspect of all of this that I needed to get across. The light body, in that you have to begin to live these aspects. You can't just think it and think that that's the only way, because if you don't live it, and you continue to fill yourself with love and light and all this energy, right? And you aren't living it, you're causing discourse, you're causing separation, you're causing a misalignment. And when that happens, crap can get painful. And when I say painful, is you're allowing all this energy to come into your body, and yet you're not vibrating. Your body isn't vibrating on that level yet. You're going to cause some issues because there are some blocks. You have some chakra blocks that aren't allowing this energy to transmute in your body. And you transmute energy through changing it low vibration into high vibration. And if you're not doing that in the body, then you're going to cause yourself some hurt. So be aware of that. Okay, it's important. It's an important aspect. Now, what else is important about the light body? And this is another topic that we're going to get into, because I am learning also that this is a very important topic here, and that is sacred geometry. So the light body, I have continuously seen represented as two different triangles, one up and one down. Okay, so they intercross in the middle, right? So the bottoms intersect in the middle of both triangles. So you got one pointing up, and then you got one pointing down, and then they cross in the middle. That is what I continuously see as the sacred geometry representation of the light body. And we're going to get into sacred geometry. It's already a topic that I've had on my topics to discuss at some point in time. We just haven't gotten there yet. But this is a perfect opportunity to start to introduce the sacred geometry, because it is important. There's a lot that comes through geometry and the aspects, just like numbers, colors, they're all important. So sacred geometry is coming, but the light body is represented by two. The Star of David actually is also, and I read that one from the Celestial one that I said in the beginning. The Star of David is a representation I've read there of the light body, and it's basically the same thing. Yeah, that's the two triangles. So just to be aware that that's how it's represented, and you can begin to think of those shapes, that shape, when you are picturing the light body. Now, I will tell you this. I have been working with my light body for years, and again, not even knowing what the heck I was doing, just going off of what they were telling me to do. And what I can tell you what I do is, when I meditate and I am doing work on the light body, I will begin to I will use the white light meditation, and those that you have heard my meditations, I have a white light meditation up on this channel, and I'll fill my physical body with white light, and I will transmute every cell in my body into white light. Then what I will do is I will picture another body, like a second me, that is of pure white light. And I will picture that just right in front of my chest. So my heart, and then about 6 inches away from there, I will picture my light body right there. And it's my light body I picture as just a light representation of who I am. It's just pure light, but it's the same shape and size as I am. And what I do is, as I have this white light coming into my head and going throughout my whole body, I will picture my heart connecting to my light body. And then my light body begins to send light into my light body and fills my light body completely up with white light. What's interesting, though, is that as over the years that I have been working with my light body, I have realized that this image in my mind that I created this meditation that I've done with actually, it's not mine. They actually gave it to me because I didn't know what I was doing. But they gave it to me. And over the years, this image has changed. So what has happened and what's been happening lately is that when I do this meditation, my light body actually flies. So as soon as I connect the two through my heart and the light body up with white light, my light body just takes off and goes straight up. Never knew what the heck was going on there, but I always allow them to guide my meditations. I always intuitively am open to their communication and their guidance, and they always take control and always help me with showing me, okay, this is the next step, and then they go up. It's why trusting your own intuition is so important. It really does put you in a state of being receptive. So, and this image has been so fascinating, and I never understood why the heck does that happen, because it just started happening, I would say, within the past year and a half. And now I do. Now I understand. And it's because my light body has been filled with so much white light that it is now tapping into extremely high dimensions, and that's where it's going. It's bringing me up. It's allowing my physical body to begin to be more receptive to more and more light and to a higher conscious level. Now, with that, we have discussed the shedding of people, the unlearning. The unlearning is so important too, and I hope you guys got the idea there, because the unlearning is the unlearning of so many societal norms that we feel, a lot of us feel, are so important. Like making a lot of money is not important. Being able to sustain life is important. Making a lot of money is not. Um, making it that you have to go to college to do what you want to do, to uh, whatever these norms are. Some people have come from military families, and military families like, you need to go into the military and serve your country. Well, I mean, being of service is a great thing, but you don't have to be something you don't want to do. If you want it, great, go do it. And like, so for me, I choose to kind of play, if you will, in this matrix. So I understand that because of the things that I want to do, like right now I'm studying to be a teacher, I have to play in that matrix. I have to go to college because that's what the society dictates that I have to do. Although mentally I'm on it, and I'm a little different. I have different belief systems. I understand that because the society has that recommendation, or your government has that, I'm choosing to go back to college and get that degree in teaching, so that I can become a teacher and kind of play in that matrix, but still be one of a higher dimensional conscious level, to allow my divine self to come out and play in the matrix, so that I can begin to influence people and to be that teacher of peace and love with so many. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's why I'm saying you have to unlearn, and part of the ascension process is unlearning this, and really just being who you're meant to be with their guidance, and they know. And when you open up to their guidance, you will find out who you're meant to be. So, okay, hopefully you guys are following me here. I think so far we have been able to keep it at a level that is pretty easy to understand, because like I said, it took me a while to do it. So much of what I was reading was so confusing. Now, another aspect of the light body that is so important, and one that we have already hit, is and also why, man, it just validates so much of how this this podcast is divinely inspired and guided because, like I said, I do not think about these topics. They just come to me. And you think about the order. We've done the podcast on the shedding of emotions, of frustration, anger, people, unlearning of societal norms and family norms and traditions that you think are needed, like church every Sunday. That's not something that's needed. If you feel called to it, go to it. But anyway, the masculine feminine energy. Now that is a topic that comes to play here in the light body. The light body is an acceptance of both of these energies and a movement between both, a balance of both. And when you can move, when they're balanced and you can move between each without the ego mind getting you to stop, because when you can tap into both sides of your mind and allow for the energies of your body, of every human, of everything, you know that there are masculine and feminine energies there. And when you can move between them and allow them to begin to show themselves when they are needed, that will help you and your light body begin to grow and ascend. If you are resistant to the energy, which is basically that is already within you, which is basically being resistant to your own self, to your own energy that is within you. If you are resistant to it, you are out of alignment. When you are acceptant of the energy that is within you, both male and female, masculine and feminine, when you are accepting of that and you can embrace them and appreciate them and allow them to come out when they are needed, woo, your alignment is really strong, really true, and you're going to fly. And just like my light body was showing me, it just soars. You are no different. You're going to go high. You're going to be able to capture this divine self and really, really allow it to come out. And it is so, so awesome. It is really what we are meant to do. So the light body is a beautiful aspect that helps you go throughout these dimensions. It's the elevator, and fill it with light, fill it with peace. Be that peace. Not only fill it, but then be it, act it, be in accordance with it. And know that as you begin to raise or rise throughout these dimensional conscious levels, you need to shed old thought processes, layers, and people, unlearning that were associated with the old level that you were with. And that's where all of that comes from, that shedding. It's because it's a sign that you are going higher, you're going up a notch. So as you begin, and oh my gosh, I mean, I can feel them with me now, because that was just that was an epiphany right there, that as you are going up and you are ascending and the light body is helping you, so you're in that elevator and you're growing and you are allowing more and more light into your body, as you shed these old thought processes, these old people, these old traditions that are no longer needed, no longer a part of where you are going, you are beginning to understand that you are growing, that you are raising in vibration enough to reach these higher dimensions consciously, on a conscious level, but in a subconscious way. You're tapping into these dimensions. You're consciously choosing to rise, and you are consciously aware of the shedding of all these processes, of all these people, but you are subconsciously tapping in and allowing more light in your physical body, and your soul is just growing, because we all know that as you ascend, your soul's aura gets bigger. Now, the aura and the auric layer is another aspect of the light body that does come to play. And I read this in the Gaia website. So I did come across this. Now the aura consists of seven different layers, and I talk about these layers, and we are going to talk about them in another podcast as well. This auric body. So okay, you see your physical body right here, right? Well, starting, just like an inch off your body, there is the start of your aura layer, your auric layers. And then it goes up. Sorry. Looking at the camera to see where my hands are. And I was, anyway, so you see it here that it starts like an inch off your body and then progressively goes up. And each layer of the auric field, which there are 7, equates to a different level of energy, conscious level. And the more you feel them, the more that you can tap into them and become aware of them. And again, we are going to go over them in another podcast. That is also on the topics to be discussed. But they do come into play. And they are something that you fill with light. Now, don't get overwhelmed here because we go over a lot of information in all these podcasts. But the point when you are going through all this is just enjoying the journey. And we've talked about that too on my road trip to Sedona, Arizona. That is one of the most important aspects. Don't lose sight, or don't think that you need to like be here. Like if you're here and then tomorrow you think you need to be here, do not do that. Don't get caught up in that. Appreciate where you are, appreciate where you're going, and that's it. Everything will come the more you are at peace and acceptance of where you are at right now. Trust me there. The more you can accept that, of where you are right now, and the more that you just allow things to happen as they will, it will happen. And actually, it'll happen even more rapidly if you can find that state of mind. It's not a race. It's not a, oh my gosh, I need to get here tomorrow. I've already accepted the fact that, okay, you know what? I might not accomplish all my goals in this lifetime, and I might have to relive again. I might have to come back down and continue to learn a few lessons because I'm not perfect. I definitely have made mistakes in my life and continue to. But be okay with that and understand that this journey is part, and appreciation of the journey is part of what we are meant to learn. It is an important aspect of what we are meant to learn, not one that should be frustrated about, like I should be further along, or why aren't I getting communication like you, or why don't I see like you, or why don't I feel like you. Don't get caught up in that, because right then you are out of alignment. There's a break there. If you trust in who you are and you set the intent to fill your light body, to fill your physical body, to align your mind, body, soul, and light body. Let me repeat that. To align your mind, body, soul, and light body with light, you will get to where you need to go. And you can get there. Just be at peace with where you are right now. Be the love. Be the peace that you are looking for. And everything will work out. Trust that. And if you don't, then you're out of alignment. Be at peace and know that you're going to be where you need to be when you need to be there. And my understanding of the light body is a prime example of that. I have been using the light body, filling my light body for years, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I was doing it, and I was living it. And then finally, years later, I get what it all means and why it's so important. We are no different, guys. You are no different. We are no different. We are all the same. We're all on the same mission. So just be at peace. I want to make that very clear here. Um, the next thing I want to talk about is how to activate it. And I told you guys what I did, where I fill my physical body with light, and then 6 inches from my heart, I send out to this light body in front of me. What I will tell you is there is no wrong way. Okay? Picture the elevator. Allow your guides to begin to interact with you, okay? By you know what you want to do now, right? You know that filling the light body with light is important and is going to help you. If you have that intent, right? Begin to picture a light body in any way you think of. And then allow your guides to take that image, whatever you've created, and let them work with it. Let them take you to where you need to be. So if you go into a meditative state and you begin to look at I'm sorry, I'm getting dizzy, guys, looking at this computer. It's so messing me up. I might need to put my glasses on. It's hurting. Oh, I'm sorry about that. It's tough. I'm so dizzy right now. But if you guys allow your guides to come in, you will do that if you start to picture your light body and choose to fill it with light. Now, you picture your light body any way you want, and then your guides are going to come in and going to change that image, and they're going to do whatever they need to do in order for you to be where you need to be, if that makes sense. What I'm saying is, if you picture something, you picture your light body in whatever way you do, don't feel like it has to stay in that image. If your guides are present with you, and when you begin to allow them to come in, they are going to help you, and they're going to move that image in whatever way, shape, or form they have necessary. Now, I'll tell you something else that's been changing with me. I told you before that my light body flies. Every time I fill it, it just goes right up. And it's so fascinating to watch in my third eye how that happens. They just take control and it just goes off. What's been happening lately to me, though, is when I picture my light body, and I do that, right? And I send my light body light through my heart, it goes up. But then something interesting's been happening recently where the light body actually starts to form within me. We are no longer two separate entities. We are one. And what's been happening is I will fill my body with light. I'll send the white light to my light body, and then the light body will actually start to identify in me, and I will lose all of the physical aspects of me start to disappear. So I can't even see myself as skin and bones anymore. I see myself as only a light body. And it's really cool to see. But like I said, be where you are and allow your guides to take you to where you need to be. And allow things to develop naturally, not hastily, not quickly. Just be present with your moment and your time and allow things to develop where you are meant to be. With the amount of energy that is in this world right now, it's going to happen quickly. But the more you are not at ease with where you are, the more out of alignment you're going to be. But so and take great pride and pleasure in the journey of getting to where you need to be. Appreciate this time. So hopefully you guys have learned a lot from this podcast. And again, I apologize about the glasses, but I am getting so dizzy with these computers anymore. I can't even look at them. I don't know what's going on with me, but anyway. So those that are watching the video, I apologize about it, but that's why it's happening. And Anyway, I will take some time, and I am really, really excited to have Enoch or whoever come through today and talk about this light body, because I'm just curious to see what they say. But anyway, that's how you activate it. You set the intent to activate the light body and to fill it with light, and then allow your guides to come in with whatever picture you picture. I'm sorry, whatever image you picture, and allow them to take control, or to help guide you, not take control, but to help guide you to wherever that light body needs to go or be, because they're going to help you. Your guides are with you every day. Trust them. Know that they're there. Believe that they're there. Trust that they are going to help you and that they are helping you, because they are. I can already feel the dizziness going away when I put these glasses on. It's freaking amazing. They're polarized glasses, but they help me with the computer. All right. So, let's go, and let me quiet my mind, and let's begin to channel. But anyway, so much for joining us today. Enoch, my children, speaking. So grateful and pleased we are for your presence here today. For not only is this topic extremely important to the human body aspects of ascension, but is one that is not very well known throughout this world, and one that has been hidden, if you will, from many of you and the teachings that are associated with ascension. This, my children, is time for the light body to be revealed to all, and to understand that the light body and its imperative nature is important to the ascension process. It is accurate in Christopher's depiction that the light body is needed to be filled in order for the physical soul, body, mind to begin to ascend. The light body is the vessel in which is used in order for them all to ascend. Physical body. The soul will ascend without the light body, but the physical body will not. It is needed in order for the physical body to allow for more light to be received, receptive. For it is a filter, if you will. Guys, just to give you a heads up, I'm coming up real quick. No. Okay, no, I'm not. Christopher does not need to explain what is being revealed in his mind, for we are showing him an image of an elevator, and there is a light body, a body, physical body, that is within the elevator, that is being represented in a light body. This is a representation of the physical body and light body rising. For the physical body will not allow for more light to be inherited into the physical body without the light body being present with it. For it is with the light body rising that it allows for more physical, for the physical body to be receptive to more light, and understanding that the dimensional conscious levels associated with more light are now entering the body. And with this, there is an aspect of change that is occurring within the human mind, body, and soul. For the changes are great in quantity, in that the aspects of the body that are allowing more light are great. The aspects of the soul that are growing in the form of conscious level and understanding of a complete oneness. This is not something to be overlooked, my children. It is one that is absolutely needed, and one that is no longer being hidden from the humankind. The light body is 100% needed, and an aspect of ascension that is imperative to the human body, for it is the vessel that will allow more light to enter the body, and the physical body cannot ascend without more light, and the conscious level cannot ascend without a better understanding of who it is, and the conscious level that is associated with the different dimensional realms that it is tapping into. Tapping into is not a word we typically use, but is one that we will leverage in this instance, and we are grateful for the mindset of Christopher for allowing this word to be used. We use aspects of Christopher's mind on a regular basis, for this is the database, if you will, that we are using to communicate with all of you, to begin to associate with all of your knowledge of language. For language and tuning are additional aspects of the light body that have not been discussed in this podcast, but are being discussed at this moment. Geometry is an aspect that is important, yes. In addition to this, there is a language, a light language, that is also one that can be used to ascend and allow for more light to enter the body and interact with the light body. In addition to the light language, there is also tuning, music, frequencies that are very important and effective when the human body is attempting to ascend and allow for vibrations higher in frequency to be reminiscent, resonating with the human body or entering the human body. This is something that cannot be overlooked and are tools that can be used in the ascension process. Tools, we say, because they are not 100% needed in the tuning or the sacred geometry, but they are effective in the assistance of them that they provide. As you proceed along this process, we encourage all to allow for your spiritual guides to enter your being and allow for their guidance to show you the way. For when you begin to trust that the guidance is coming, you are in full alignment, and this allows for a greater understanding and a greater ease, greater sense of ease for your guides to enter the moment and take you to where you need to go. This was glanced over in this podcast, but one that is great in understanding. The idea of trust and being in the moment and receptive to the guidance that is from the spiritual team is one that is very helpful in the ascension process, for they are here and their soul's purpose is to assist with your ascension process and the lessons to be learned from a soul's level in this current lifetime. This, my children, is extremely important as you proceed along this path. Please understand that these ideas that we speak of are very important to the overall aspect of ascension, and so many different aspects of what we communicate about are tools, ideas, understandings, things that could help you begin this process. We communicate with the humankind on so many different levels. It is an overlooking of the human mind that prevents so many of you from truly looking within and not noticing the different aspects in which we are communicating. We have communicated with Christopher just the other day with the sun's aspect and the rays that were coming off of the sun. This was communication that we have given directly to Christopher as guidance and an understanding of our presence with him at that moment. Please understand, ladies and gentlemen, that we are with you at every moment. And at different moments, we are providing you opportunities of our presence with you, of knowing of our presence with you. But it is your receptivity to these opportunities, to these understandings, that is so vitally important. And where filling the light body and meditation come in, tools to help you understand that we are present. For when you are not in the moment, your ability to be present and allow for these messages to be received is more difficult to apprehend. And thus these moments might go by without passing, without noticement. And this is troubling to the humankind, for so often are they searching for our presence. Although it is right there in front of them, they are not present enough to understand that we are present at that very moment. Please understand, ladies and gentlemen, that our presence is eternal, always. We are always present and always attempting to communicate with the humankind in some way, shape, or form. Be present enough to know the ways in which we are communicating with you and allow for our guidance to step forward and take you to the next level. For all that are listening to this podcast are on the notion, the idea that ascension is possibility. Your soul is attempting to ascend, my children, and this podcast is a direct representation of our way, a tool of helping you, guiding you along this path. There is no way, one way, that is indicative of how you ascend, but there are necessary, imperative ideas that must be understood in order for the ascension process to understand. The idea of all being one is an important aspect. The idea of the light body being infused with light to help with the ascension process is imperative, is needed, 100%. Make no mistake about this. The other ideas of communication and spiritual guidance are tools that are used to help with the growth, the ascension. But ideally, your soul is very well aware of the process and is attempting to have your physical body aligned with it so that it may ascend on its own. However, there are aspects of your spiritual team, guidance team, heavenly support team that are present at every moment of your life, human life, that is, to assist with the soul. And aspects of your soul itself that are in higher dimensions that are also capable of stepping in. And this aspect alone is also part of the light body, also known as the Merkaba. The Merkaba is a light body and also referred to as the light body. These are interchangeable definitions, my children. The Merkaba and light body, if you will, are one and the same. And as you begin to ascend, it is imperative to understand that the Merkaba is going to allow for more light to enter the physical body. With this comes a greater sense of awareness of the energies around you. And important to understand that these energies are influential in the way that you begin to ascend even more. As you do filter between different dimensions, there are aspects of your current mindset and physical body that will begin to change. As discussed, these layers must be shed, my children. These are not layers that must be held onto. They are needed to be released so that your light body can be freed of its heaviness, density, which is essentially what is happening as your light body begins to ascend. You are releasing density to make your body, physical body, lighter and able to maneuver higher. Your body, as it sits right now, is not capable of going all the way up immediately because of the density it carries, my children. Please understand what is happening here. Your physical bodies are being cleansed, if you will, as you rise. And the cleansing is represented in the shedding of negativity, judgments, and at different aspects of your own mind and in others' minds. For these aspects are no longer needed for your well-being, and your lightness is needed in order for you to ascend. And we hope that this understanding is much more prevalent in your mind. Should you feel it necessary, please reach out to Christopher and he can assist through the idea of our channeling. And we are eternally grateful for all of your presence. Proceed in love and be one with who you are, and one with the guidance and support teams that are dedicated to you of the human body and kind. And we are grateful. Thank you. Of love always, Enoch speaking. Whoa, that was a long one, and man, so deep. Thank you so much, Enoch. Thank you guys, too, for listening. Man, these are so awesome. I'm learning just as much as you guys as I go along. And I really, really appreciate all of your attention, all of your love. You guys are reaching out to me, and I really appreciate that. Please do reach out to me with any questions. I was shocked that Enoch said that you can reach out to me and I can help with channeling. I am definitely open to that always, obviously. My website, opentooenergy.com. Please reach out to me. Ask me any question you want, and I'll help in whatever way I can. Anyway, I love you all so much, and I really appreciate you guys listening, really, really. And I appreciate Enoch and all the Ascendant Masters and teachers that come through this podcast for all their help. I thank you all. I appreciate it. Appreciate everyone and all of you. Thank you. Take care and enjoy your night, your day. God bless. Bye.